Hi, happy Mother's Day. Today I am going to make some black bean and rice burgers. So we in this household love Beyond Meat. We love a lot of the new options that there are out there for faux meat products. However, gotta remind myself, eat healthy, make it yourself. So I'm going back to the basics. I have combined a bunch of different ideas that I'm really excited about. First thing I'm gonna do is take this can of rinsed black beans and just take my potato masher to it. So I'm gonna get it nice and mixed together. I don't want many, if at all, big pieces of bean because that's gonna make the burgers really hard to stick together. That's one thing that I did wrong the first few times I made burgers. I did not make sure that everything was really mixed together, and then they kind of fell apart. And who wants a burger that falls apart when you eat it? So the other interesting things that I'm adding to this are, instead of just rice, I'm also adding some roasted chopped cashews. You can use walnuts, that's pretty popular in black bean burgers. I love the taste of cashews, so I decided to try that instead, and I was super excited about how that turned out. So I'm about happy with this. You can see my beans are very well mashed. They are ready to go. So now I'm just gonna really put everything together. I have my rice, about a cup of that cooked after it's cooked. So about a half a cup dry before you cook it. About a cup of roasted nuts. Again, you could use walnuts. You could probably use almonds or something else as well. I love this cashew flavor. My dry ingredients, I've got a little brown sugar, a little salt, more seasoned salt, black pepper, chili powder, and a little garlic powder. Only a little garlic powder this time because I also have fresh garlic. So I took some veggies here. I diced them up really good and I cooked them. Green pepper, half a green pepper, half a white onion, one whole jalapeno, and a couple big cloves of garlic, and a cat butt. And she doesn't want to leave. So you could also food process this if you're not into fine dicing, but I went ahead and diced it myself. Same thing with the nuts. Run them through the food processor. It's a lot easier than just trying to chop it up yourself. So my jalapeno, my half a onion, half a green pepper, and whole jalapeno are going in to my mix. There. And then I have my egg. So I use Bob's Red Mill egg replacer. It gives you the consistency that you need, the binder, if you will. You can also use a flax egg in lieu of a traditional egg. So I'm gonna put that in. And I'm gonna mix all of this up. Last thing I'm gonna add is about a third a cup of panko breadcrumbs, but I'm gonna give everything else a good mix first. So at the end of this, you really want to be able to patty it. So make sure after you get everything together that the texture works. If you try to put a ball in your hand, if it's still crumbly, you're not ready. And I do have one more ingredient that I haven't put in yet, besides the breadcrumbs, and that is ketchup. So that's gonna help me with that liquid factor. Barbecue sauce would be really good in these burgers too. I'm gonna keep it simple with that tomato taste. So I'm gonna put in about 3 tablespoons of ketchup. I haven't tried just like vegetable stock or anything else. I've just tried barbecue sauce and ketchup. These two seem to work really well. So 3 good heaping tablespoons of that. And I'm gonna switch to my better spoon. A clean one would do better. Cat number 2 checking out what we're doing. We're also going to serve this tonight. I'm really excited with some elote. So you can easily make that vegan, and I will probably post a recipe of that soon. But you can use either homemade or store-bought mayo and or sour cream. And then you put a lot of fresh cilantro, chili powder, maybe cayenne if you want it nice and spicy, and some chopped up jalapenos and bell peppers, and finish it off with some lime juice. It's so, so good. So here you can see where we're at. It's nice and gooey, right? So right now, it would stick all over my hand. It's a perfect time to add breadcrumbs. I prefer panko for this, like I do with a lot of things. Along with the cashews, it's gonna give me a little bit of crunch in the burger that otherwise it would certainly be lacking. So about a third cup of that. And once that's incorporated, that's really it. This is super simple. You can trade out those veggies. If you don't like onions, don't put them in. If you don't have a green pepper or a jalapeno, improvise that. Last time I actually only had pickled jalapenos instead of fresh, and they were delicious too. So you can be pretty creative with what veggies that you put inside of this mix. Once I get all that breadcrumb in, I'm just gonna show you real quick before I cut what kind of texture and size. So I like my burgers to fill out the size of my bun perfectly. So I make a nice hand-sized ball here. And I think a little bit more would be good. Perfect. All right. And you can see it's not sticking too much to my hands. It's holding together really well. That's what you're looking for. Really just press it out into your burger patty shape. About the size you want it. Not too thick. Make sure it's gonna cook through when you grill it or bake it. And look at that. So simple. This recipe is gonna make you about 8 nice sized burgers. So I also want to say it's really easy to freeze these. What I did last time was take a stack of these, little parchment paper in between each one, stick them in the freezer, and you can bake them or grill them from frozen, or you can thaw them out. So I'm going to use a bunch of these tonight, but I'm going to freeze a few as well for later. And I will show you the finished product, but I definitely recommend trying a black bean burger and make it more than just black beans like I did here. They're delicious. You just gotta get a little creative with your ingredients. Here are my 8 patties on my very weathered, used up pan. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the fridge for a little bit until we're ready to grill. I think that the time in the fridge helps them just stick together a little bit better, have some time to hang out. Super excited to eat these. Before I grill them, I'm going to put a little extra salt and pepper on the outside, just like you would a standard burger. And then we'll grill them 5-ish minutes on each side. And then you can also bake them at 375 for 8 to 10 minutes on each side and get a similar result. I like that grill taste, so that's what I'm going for today. Here we have our elote salad and our delicious black bean burger that I just taught you how to make. I'm gonna take a bite of the burger right away. Again, that corn is gonna be in another video. It's absolutely amazing. Can't wait for you to try it. Here we go. I love it. It was so good. Little crunchy from the cashews and the panko. So good on the grill. Holds together well. Little heat from the jalapeno, not too much. Absolutely wonderful. Please give this recipe a try.